Yeah, and that's unfortunate that this whole green thing has become a political movement, and it's been a political movement that's hijacked by industry, and they are trying to enforce mandates that will allow them to make extreme amounts of profit, and also to control people and to control their choices.
Yeah, all you read is that cattle are great contributors to global warming, greenhouse gases, and all that. And we talked about before, there's a scientific study, a very expensive scientific study called a life cycle analysis on our website that shows that we're actually sequestering more carbon in our cattle side of our business than we're putting up. So, it's...
Which makes sense.
Yeah, that's the way...
That's the way it's supposed to be.
So one of the differences in those two soils and the ones you showed and the one that you talked about in South America, there's carbon and microscopic life in that soil.
Which is what makes it dark versus the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the way you build those carbon-rich soils is through proper livestock interaction. That's the way the 8-foot-deep soils in the Great Plains came about, those huge herds of buffalo going across.
Mm.
And it's the reason that those two soils look so much different. And the one that Jenni showed on the board there. So, I think we know a lot more about how to fix the problem than we acknowledge, but it's just going to be so expensive, especially for big food, big ag, big
and
tech.
then ultimately also for the consumer. Because if McDonald's went purely to regenerative agriculture, if they had a large-scale effort to eliminate industrial farming and get all of their food through regenerative agriculture, there's not a chance in hell they're going to charge 99 cents for a cheeseburger.
And I'm not opposed to there being chains like McDonald's, but I just don't know how they work with any sort of local food movement. I just don't know how you make that work.
Right. And then how do you make it so, there's a large amount of people in this country that primarily eat fast food, unfortunately. That's where they get their calories from. Mm-hmm. And you see it because of the health consequences. It's a gigantic issue in this country. If you look at the human beings, I'm sure you've seen these photographs of people on the beach in the 1950s and 60s versus 2023. 2023 is like, it's insane how obese everybody is. And that's not an accident. That's a direct result of the way we eat and what we eat and where it comes from.
It's the same with our animals. The goal in a feedlot animal is to blow them up fast and quick with cheap food. That's what we do to our people too.
Yeah, that is what we do. Yeah.
Well, and in marketing, we create our own customers. Those people who suffer from obesity and sedentary lifestyles that have diseases and whatever else, then we get to sell them medicine. Yes. And then the medicine's called side effects, which then we treat with more medicine.
Yeah.
So it's so I'm the director of marketing, and one thing that I love is just good old fashioned marketing and reoccurring business and returning orders and all those things. I see how that works. The very idea that these lifestyles create a certain issue, which are then prescribed with certain medicines that then create more issues that we treat with more medicines. What a genius plan. That's great. That is, it's
if you
terrible.
Want to buy a yacht.
It's terrible for the people and for the environment and but hell, it's great.
Very profitable.
I'll give you another slant on that. You talked about the changes I made from what I used to do